Okay, so I guess we should start and not bore the students with our own
please.
gossip.
Please start. I know. Please start.
So, good afternoon, students. Like, I'm going to read out what I have written, and then I'm going to open the floor for discussion. If any one of you has any particular question, any doubts, you can raise it at the end of the talk. You can write it down when I'm speaking, and then ask me at the end of it. All right. So I'm going to start. I'm going to start as I had written it. So like there are going to be a lot of like mistakes in that sense, because I have mentioned a lot of jokes, and like I was presuming that a lot of the teachers are going to be here. So bear with me on that. Good morning, respected principal ma'am, teachers, and to all the students who are attending this webinar. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the school administration for putting their faith in me for this talk, and Payal ma'am for personally vouching for my name in the meeting. It is a privilege to speak in the presence of my old teachers. For the teachers who found me problematic back in my days, this might be my opportunity to redeem myself, especially Meenu ma'am and Payal ma'am, who don't seem to be here. I have been asked to present a talk on the importance of reading, or more specifically, the joy that is reading. I have structured this talk as follows. I'm going to read some basic points that I have listed out, which I personally considered as pertinent to the topic. I would then open the floor for any questions and further discussion. Now, I would like to clarify at the outset that I would not speak about the typical benefits of reading that one can find on a Google at one click. Those aspects of readings have been discussed to exhaustion at every possible opportunity by the so-called experts. Here, I would primarily talk about how all those experts have gotten a lot of it wrong. So what have they gotten wrong? They have associated reading solely to pragmatic and practical concerns such as clearing entrances, gaining knowledge for the sake of it, or even attach the social value to reading. This understanding of reading not only benefits these experts to sell their books, it also commercializes and commodifies education to the point where the value of reading can be quantified and undermine everything that reading stands for. For instance, these experts advise reading to students so that they can enter the rat race of clearing examinations, as if reading without the aim of climbing the ladder of one's professional life is futile and a waste of time. The manifestation of this kind of thought process in our society is evident in the disdain and condescension that is met out to the students who opt for humanities instead of commerce or science. This belief perpetuates the myth that reading for the purpose of widening one's perspective, developing critical skills, and reading especially just for the sake of joyous introspection is merely an idealistic notion, which would ruin one's prospect at the job market. Not only is this untrue, it is also highly detrimental to the growth of our society in relation to our democratic ideals and equal society. Reading must and should be understood within the context of building a society constituting of individuals who have skills to distinguish rational discourse and logical arguments from thinly veiled propaganda masquerading as sincere information. Without extending further on the fallacious views our society holds towards reading, I would like to point out certain benefits of reading that deviate from the technical aspects of reading. My personal experience with literature for the past 8 years has been very influential in these beliefs, and I don't claim these notions to be either exhaustive or definitive. So please bear with me, and if you have any doubts, you can then clarify it with me. Or if you disagree with me, we'll have a discourse. So first point that I would like to point out, reading allows us to realize our own biases. A person who does not read is unable to put himself or herself in the shoes of others, thus reinforcing his own preconceived notions and